Playing around looking at this thing, it looks like we are in vivid mode now, the new vivid mode. So if you look, I guess the blues look a little different, you know what I mean? But it looks like what you got to do is you got to go to this adaptive white brightness, this adaptive color tone, turn off adaptive color tone, go to advanced settings, and now let's see what this vivid is. That's the first vividness. Second, that looks pretty good. Third, there you go. That's the one. You got second, and you got third. I think I like the third.
This British military service revolver was adopted in 1931. It chambered a .38 caliber round. It was known as the Enfield No. 2 Mark I, the standard side-issue firearm for British officers in World War II. It required less training to shoot well and was easier to handle than the Webleys because it used a smaller cartridge and had less recoil. Tank gunners complained that pistol hammers kept snagging on their clothing.
Oh, yeah.
So on this Enfield, they eliminated the hammer. No way to cock the weapon. It could only be fired with a long trigger pull.
I think, did they fuck it up even worse?
The Enfield is just a downscaled version of the Webley. It is in every way.
The screen still looks shitty.
I never even knew Enfield made a pistol.
This is the Enfield.
This one is a definite trade-in for the 25.
Of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, there was a potential magic update that would make the camera a lot better than it currently is. But none of that came out and everyone was waiting for it. Today, it's finally in. But
So the 6 o'clock idea is not working so good. We go 00 o'clock. Try that. How about that? It's a lot of guesstimating. I like the way that breaks open tosses. That's nice. We were surprised to find out that the sights with that ammunition and that particular pistol were off by 6 or 8 inches at 15 yards. It's quite a bit. But you know, we can still shoot at cool stuff.
We could.
You got anything in your sleeve?
I do have a few things kicking around in my range bag which I can shoot. At 15 yards, we then set up some snooker balls. At this stage, we were pretty much hoping against hope that we're going to connect with
Oh
these
no, this
things.
shit looks still like shit.
Snooker balls out at 15 yards.
What is that? The girl from Jersey Shore?
Those
Snooker balls.
Those would be snooky balls.
Is that the same size as an American pool ball?
A little bit smaller, actually.
I'm not going to tell you which one I'm aiming at. If something happens, then you'll know it. Scared. It's running from me.
I think you just tapped the underside of the board it's been sitting on.
Ha ha! So I guess that hit the tape.
Went it down, put one in the woodwork, man.
Wow.
No.
Hey! Okay, I cleaned it.
Tell you what, if that's cleaning it, I'm going to go right along that 2x4. Yeah, Adam got really lucky at this point. He put some rounds into the woodwork, which shook them off the tees that were sitting there.
I don't know, we might go that one. Let's do center vivid.
So you got 3 off, right?
I cleaned the table. You're not done. Ian was having the same difficulty with the snooker balls because now when you miss, you really don't have a frame of reference because you're not getting any feedback. You're not saying, oh, I saw that one was low, I saw that one was high, I saw it left.
All right, so we both managed to clean all those targets, but I think this gun is such a handicap. I wouldn't feel comfortable shooting this in competition with anyone. So I'm just going to retire this. We've got a friendly shootout coming up, so instead of using this pistol and trying to handicap the unlucky soul who gets it, we decided to retire it from the competition. We do have some nice Webleys up on the rack. I'd like to get you some time on those, so why don't we go do that now?
Yeah, I'd really like to try Webley out. I hear all about them. I'd like to see how it compares.
I think you're going to like it.
All right, let's do it.
For the 3 guns for the competition, we decided we're going to shoot the Enfield rifle, and we're going to shoot the WG pistol, and we're going to shoot the Webley Mark 6. That gives us 3 really nice guns, and they're not going to be a handicap to anybody who shoots them. Why don't you try the Webley Mark 6 first? That's going to be more like the Enfield that we've just rejected, but better. Shoot it at 15 yards on paper and see where it proves.
All right.
Oh, look at the difference. This almost looks night and day.
Right. 3 in the 10 ring, yeah. 4 in the 10 ring.
I like the grip a lot. I like the weight and feel of it. I like the 455 cartridge. It's a nice big bullet. The sight picture, front sight post was nice. I'd give the Webley Mark 6 a solid B. I didn't quite have as much luck my first volleys through. I tend to be shooting to the left with that pistol.
Does this fix the issues that I have with the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra when it comes to the camera performance, especially daytime photography? Well, that's going to be the focus today, daytime photography, and see how it stacks up against the update. See how it is before and after. And we're going to have to play a little trick because of that and have the update installed. How do I approach this? Get the update, don't install, go to my city, take shots, update, and then try to retrace my steps and try to replicate the shots. So no composition will be perfectly the same, again, especially when we look at noise. And based on the image,
Wow, you know, I'm aiming. See, that's what's another one. Unbelievable smooth trigger.
images inside, several things are worth noting. Images are a bit brighter, not a lot, but noise, well, it is a bit less, is still there, especially on the ultra wide. And in some cases, it has worse dynamic range. See for instance through this window. And in some shots, there's a little bit of haze as well. Not sure what's going on there, but just a little bit extra. In general, with the main sensor, the approach feels very similar, with some slight changes, but nothing substantial inside the church itself, just some slight color differences, and a bit more contrast in some shots, which is something that it did need. With the biggest example being between these two, where the updated shot definitely looks better and is more what it was. Still Samsung processing, but better. When going outside, again, keep in mind a bit of a weather difference, so light will be a little bit different. Images again look very similar, with a bit more of a brightness on the updated version, which sometimes does come at a cost of contrast. It also seems that the 10x zoom is a bit more. Now, don't put that for sure, but it really felt like I was in the same position with this shot, and somehow it is zoomed in more. But I am human and I can be wrong. But it is potentially something worth noting between the two. Here I wish I had two of them so I could be sure, but again, not 100% sure here. Again, with these shots, to a degree, we can count for a possible slight change in terms of weather and therefore light. Though at the church, these differences should be minimal because of the little time difference. But you can see a warmer approach before the update than compared after it. And I prefer the one before the update. It's a little bit more appealing, but not only that, it also looks less flat than the one after the update. And also look at the windows, they are quite a bit darker on the one that doesn't have the update. And that's not the only shot. Here again, you can see a clear difference in brightness, and that removes more of the contrast that it really needs. It removes depth, and images look flatter after the update than it was before. And lighting here was really close to being the same. Now Samsung has always been pretty poor with colors. These for instance on both look nothing alike in real life, and saturation just makes it a completely different color and pretty much counts for both of them, with it being very hard to notice any difference. But again, this is not the color that it was, not even
from the rifle during service. Instead, it was fed 5 rounds at a time, held together with a stripper clip. The cartridges were top-loaded through the action into the magazine, and the clip was removed. The British adopted this method from the German Mauser design. Now it's time for me to hit the range and review the weapons before the shoot-off.
How you doing, fellas?
Hey, Colby.
Okay, since Ian and I had some trigger time on both of the Webleys, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with those. Move up to the Enfield 38 pistol. Ian, how did the practice session go with that?
Well, we had a few problems with the Enfield Mark 1 Colby. When we both shot it, we were printing about 8 inches low on the paper at 15 yards, which meant that you had to hold the front sight somewhere in the next carry to make it hit.
Well, if you guys can't hit the bullseye, I'm not going to stand a chance, so I don't even need any time with that gun. Moving right along. The Enfield rifle, with all the British hardware Ian brought with him, this is the one I'm looking forward to most. So let's head over to the range. Give me a chance to shoot this thing. The Lee That's a gun I've heard a lot about. It has an incredible pedigree and history behind it, and it's just a good old bolt-action rifle. It really is. Well, you're gonna have to educate me on even how to get this sucker loaded.
Alrighty. Get used to running this gun out of the stripper clips. It's how it was designed to be operated. See how that's running with the increased angle on the bottom?
Okay.
That goes down.
You're always.
Go ahead and put it on the charger guide. Now, using your thumb, press down quite close to the charger. There you go. There you go. The Lee Enfield rifle fires the .303 British cartridge. The Mark 7 service ball round comprises a 174 grain bullet traveling at around about 2,400 feet per second. This produces a fair amount of muzzle energy and a lot of kick on the other end.
First one is 10 o'clock, just inside the 9 ring. 12 o'clock, just outside the 8 ring. All right, that clipped the 10 ring at 10 o'clock. I was spotting for Colby, and he steadily walked them in as we called out, sighting instructions.
Send one more at 50 yards.
Yep. There you go. That one's inside the 10, so the adjustments you've been making are working.
What's that other target at?
100.
100?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and work on that.
Colby then moved out, shot at 100 yards with the Lee Enfield rifle. And again, he was on paper right away. All right, that is 11 o'clock. Clip the 8 ring.
Definitely afford to bring it down.
Yeah, sure.
Clip the X ring at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that felt good.
That was perfect. Whatever you did there was right.
Let's do it again.
And that was a little outside. How'd that feel? Not as good as the last one?
No.
The last 2 shots were hanging around 7, 8 o'clock and around the 8, 9 ring. That was inside the 9 ring at 7, 8 o'clock.
I like it. I like this one. I really do.
Beautifully sculpted. Each part is beautifully machined and finished, and it was state of the art for the time.
Fun gun to shoot.
Yes.
I like it. A lot of history here.
A lot of
A
history.
lot of history. Fun. The action works good. You can tell why guys were so quick. The old Mad Minute, you can see how that would work with this gun. The sights on the back of the Enfield rifle are a little different than what you would normally see. The way the Enfield's done is your rear sight is a V, so there's a lot of room for error in that type of sight, especially when you're reaching out to 100 yards and farther. When you're talking, Adam, about me holding 2 inches below the bull, in your mind, when you're hearing that, you think, oh, that's no big deal. And then you look at the sights and you look how small this thing looks 100 yards away. So I don't feel so bad about that. Don't know if I want to be going toe-to-toe against you guys with it, but see what happens. All right, let's head back. All right. So after we'd all had a chance to practice with these weapons, it came down to the friendly shoot-off. So here's what we got to decide. You got to figure out some sort of little shootout between the three of us. You guys been giving some thought to it?
Yeah, we came up with a few ideas. We've got 2 Webley pistols and the Enfield rifle. I think we've come up with some good use.
All right, what do you think?
Thinking, let's set up some targets, say 12 and 15 yards for the pistols, which is a pretty reasonable distance.
Okay.
We'll use different sized targets. Biggest target gets assigned a value of 1 point. Medium-sized target, 2 points, and the smallest one, you can gain yourself 3 points on that target and clear it. And first one up gets to choose his targets.
So we're all three going to be using all 3 weapons.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And it's not based on speed, this is accuracy.
Pure accuracy. And you only get 4 rounds total.
It's 3 shots and 1 mulligan.
I should have known when I leave a guy like Adam and a Brit like Ian to come up with a competition that's going to end up being off kilter. All right, let's set up the targets and get to it. Go.
Before the shoot-off, a Top Gun's bullet point. Gun makers have always been interested in safety. It is dangerous to handle live ammunition, to load, or clean a weapon. Gun designers plan carefully to ensure that there are safeguards on every firearm. One of these is the external safety. Usually located near the trigger,